ERC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
Hey, this is James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Friday, the 26th day of September, and we're getting set for another beautiful weekend. Let's go to some Skycam shots around the state on this wonderful Friday afternoon. There's a look at the view coming from Mount Cheehaw. Those high cirrus clouds, those are the clouds on the far periphery of the storm system over South Carolina, as you'll see in just a moment. But, of course, lots of sunshine getting through. Pretty much the same deal from Jasper. Some high clouds around. Those are ice crystals up at about 25,000 feet. And up in the Tennessee Valley, the sky bright and sunny at Huntsville. There's the water vapor satellite shot. And again, you can see our storm that is over South Carolina. And the high-level clouds have wrapped into the eastern part of Alabama. But those are not rain clouds. Underneath the air, very dry, so no rain for a while. Temperatures, very nice. These are at 1 o'clock today, upper 70s to the north, low 80s down to the south. And over the weekend, we'll have warm afternoons and cool nights, mostly low and mid-80s during the day and 50s at night. Here's a look at the big coastal storm that is now inland over South Carolina, east of Greenville-Spartanburg. The pressure there, 1,008 millibars. And check out that pressure gradient north of the system. Very, very strong onshore flow. Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, on up to New Jersey, where the weather is pretty wild up there today. And really, that's where the heaviest rain will be for the next 5 days. Rain through Wednesday morning of next week, suggesting nothing here. And heavy amounts, 5 to 10 inches across a large part of New England with the coastal storm that's going on now, and perhaps a glancing blow from Kyle over the weekend. Here's a look at both of our storms. You can see storm number 1 that's over South Carolina, and that is a huge circulation rotating gobs of moisture into the upper half of the Atlantic coast of the United States. And down below, that is Kyle, now well to the northeast of the Bahamas. Maximum sustained winds are 60 miles per hour. The Hurricane Center expects Kyle to become a minimal hurricane over the weekend, and then passing just east of Cape Cod and near the eastern tip of Maine Sunday and Sunday night, before heading up into the eastern part of Canada, is a tropical storm. And, of course, no impact here, so let's take a look at the GFS. This is where we are at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. You can see the weakness there in the southeast. That's what's left of the system that's been over South Carolina. Down below that, the air dry as a bone. We've still got the onshore flow going on over New England. Here comes Kyle coming up from the south. Sunday, Kyle approaches really Cape Cod on the GFS. And again, that's going to be windy and wild up in New England, but around here, beautiful weather. Monday of next week, all looks good. And we note that little feature in the Gulf of Mexico. Is that convective feedback, or is that actually a Gulf system trying to form? Tuesday of next week, here comes our deepening trough to the north and the ridge out west. And again, note what happens Tuesday. The GFS now develops a full-blown surface low near Tampa Bay. And we'll watch for trends here, but can a system form down there in late September? Absolutely. We still got plenty of time in hurricane season here. Now, Wednesday of next week, this run of the GFS not as aggressive with the upper trough over the east. And accordingly, it's not as cool. Now, it is awfully cold over Canada. Look at that, 1,040 millibar high over the Northwest Territories. Very cold air up there, but again, with the amplitude of the trough not as great, not as much cool air gets down here on this run. And look, we're not going to change anything on this one run. Thursday, very cold air drops into the northern states. That's going to plunge Minnesota and the UP of Michigan, northern Wisconsin down in the 20s, if that's right, with howling north winds and snow flurries. And then a week from today, the cold air stays north, a very sharp gradient just north of here. But again, this run keeps the coldest air north of Alabama. Now, Saturday, a week from tomorrow, the 4th of October, we note moisture in the Gulf to the south, moisture to the north, and Sunday the 5th, well, look at that. Now, the GFS looking awfully wet. And I just did a Talladega race forecast this morning based on the OZ run of the model, which was dry. And now this run looks awfully wet on Sunday the 5th. But remember, this is still voodoo country. This is beyond 7 days, and it's going to change again. But we're just watching trends out here. And we'll see how that plays out. But again, if that's right, that would mean some rain for the big race at Talladega on that Sunday. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. My next video will be Monday morning at 7. Brian Peters, the internationally beloved meteorologist, will have the updates tomorrow and Sunday. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.